Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name's Lefebvre, and today we are looking at a brand new brush set from Craftamo, their black set. So let's jump in and get started. Okay friends, today we are taking a look at Craftamo's new brush set, the Black Series. I have not used these brushes yet. I'm excited to dive in, so let's take a look and see what's inside. So it comes in this beautiful, sleek black box as always. You guys know that I work very closely with Craftamo. I love my brushes that I've collaborated on them with, and they have this new brush set that they sent me, so let's take a look. Okay, so like always, their beautiful packaging. Has a card here, has some cleaning brush care information and a little bit about the brushes. This is really cool. So this actually comes with paper, some black watercolor paper, which I think we're going to use today. And then the brushes that come in this set are a size 18 mop. I don't think I have, whoa, I do not have a brush that is this size yet. Whoa. And so mop brushes, like the black bristles, tend to be really nice and soft. They absorb a lot of water. So this would actually be really good for like a large painting. I don't know if I'll use it on this paper just because this is a really big brush for a small piece of paper. But like this is probably one of the biggest round brushes I own. I think I have maybe a size 14 and that's it. So it comes with a size 18 mop. It comes with a size 18 flat. Ooh, I love a good flat brush. Look how sleek these look. And again, it looks like they're very soft bristles, so they hold lots of water. Love a good flat brush. A size 12 round, that is usually like one of my go-to sizes, which is really nice, has a good point. Then a size 8 filbert. Filberts are great. I feel like I've done a couple videos on filberts. Sorry, my hands are so slippery. It's hard for me to get these plasticky thingies off. There we go, without damaging the brush. So filberts are fun because they're flat. I don't know if you can see that if you turn it to the side. It's flat, but then it has this nice rounded tip. Really nice for florals. And it looks like the bristles are a little bit more on the shorter side for this, which is cool. Gives a little bit more control than when you have long bristles. So this will be fun to paint with. Then they have a size 4 angle. Nice angle brush, so it's flat on the side. And then it has a nice little sharp angle there. Nice precision lines. A rigger, which is really fun. Ooh, look how nice and pointed that is. This is really great for fine detail, but also because the bristles are so long and not short, it carries a lot of water and paint, so your lines can go on longer. So that will be fun for detail. And then a fan brush. So fan brushes look like this. I know it's hard to see against the black background. I don't really use fan brushes. I have in the past. Some people swear by them for trees and stuff. The bristles are very soft, so I wonder how it's going to work. But a fan brush is definitely not something I use very often. So we're going to play today and see how this goes. So I'm going to take all of these out, and we're actually going to use the black watercolor paper that it came with and test that out as well, just to see what it all looks like. And because watercolor is a transparent medium, it won't show up too well on black watercolor paper. Some are a bit more opaque, but I think for what I want to do today, I'm going to use some gouache, just because gouache is opaque and it should show up a little bit better. So let's see this paper. It's nice and thick. I have used black watercolor paper in the past. I don't think it's the same brand, so it should be interesting to use. So I'm feeling like I kind of want to do like a moody floral piece. So I have a feeling that I really don't have too much direction on how I want to do this, but I'm just going to wing it, and we're going to play today. Today's all about play. So I'm actually going to tape off a border with some washi tape, evenly, hopefully, and then I will explain what we're doing next. Okay, so I've taped off a border, and I think what I want to do is kind of like a florally field where it's nice and dark in the background. So if you haven't played with gouache before, gouache is kind of like watercolor in that it is activated with water. And the difference is it's opaque. So you can paint on darker colors. You can work dark to light or light to dark because you can layer lighter colors on top. This is dried gouache in a pan. I have done a video on this before. Gouache comes in tubes and I feel is the most opaque right out of the tube, but because I tend to not use it right out of the tube as often, I have made a dried gouache palette and I kind of use it like watercolors. It's just a little bit more opaque. So I'm going to try this and see how it goes. So I actually do want to create kind of like a darkish green background. I'm wondering if I do like a light wash of like our green, not light wash, but like a very transparent kind of wash of green just to get a little bit of a difference. So because I want to cover the background, oh my gosh, the amount of water this brush holds is crazy. I'm going to use this mop brush. So I'm going to just grab like this dark green color and I'm just going to apply it. Just a really light, transparent wash of gouache to the background. Just so maybe the black border will stand out. So this brush is huge. It carries so much water and these bristles are so soft. Okay. So because I want to work in layers, I'm actually going to let this part dry first, and then I'm going to start adding some layers of like flowers and stuff like that on top. Okay, so let's let this dry and then we will come right back. Okay, so it's dry now. It didn't make the biggest difference. There's like a slight difference, which you can't really see on camera, of this like really dark green in the background. But I wanted it to be very, very light. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start layering, going as dark as I can to lighter kind of shades of green to do some leaves in the background. And because our gouache is a transparent medium, you can layer lighter colors, like a lighter flower on top later, which is one thing I love. So I'm just creating a really dark green and I'm just going to start doing these leaves like this. And I'm just going to do them all over. I actually did a very similar painting for a Patreon exclusive with gouache, which was so much fun to do. And it's actually a nice beginner friendly one. So if you want like a good full tutorial of this kind of painting, you could definitely check that out. So I'm just doing different kind of stems of leaves. With like a medium kind of green. You want it on the darker side because we're going to work our way to lighter colors soon. But start with this darker green. Okay, so this is the round brush, and the round brush is really nice. I love a good round brush. It's always my go-to. Okay, and then I think I want to try some of the other brushes as well. So I'm going to try this. Actually, you know what? I might use the filbert for the actual flower. So let's try this angle brush for leaves. I don't know. So I'm going to pick a lighter green. I'm going to pick this like moss green. And I'm going to try and do some, ooh, that's nice for leaves too. Some leaves over top. So see how we're layering lighter colors on top and they shine through really nicely. I love this moss green. The gouache that I'm using is primarily Winsor & Newton designer gouache, but like this moss green, I believe is Shinhan, which I love. It's a really nice moss green. It almost looks kind of like neon on this black. One really cool thing about black watercolor paper as well, what you can do is you can use a lot of like shimmery watercolors if you like that kind of thing. I know a lot of people do. It's not really my type of thing, but if you wanted to add a little bit of sparkle, black paper is a really cool way to use it. It just shows up so nicely. It's kind of fun making these leaves with the angle. And I like how short the bristles are. There's a lot of control. I haven't decided what kind of flower I'm going to do yet. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to try, let's try a different brush now. Actually, let's try the filbert as well for some leaves. Just for fun. Let's pick a different green. Maybe I'm going to turn this a little bit and do some like longer, more rounded leaves. Like that. Sorry if you can't see. It's a lot clearer on in front of me than it is on camera. I'll try and get some good close-ups after. This brush is really nice to work with too. Very easy to work with. All right, I do have to have some leaves kind of in the middle, and then I have to figure out what I'm gonna do for my flower. Okay. So for the flower, I think I'm gonna start with a white base and then maybe maybe I could do some color on it afterwards. But I'm going to just start, and I'm going to use my filbert, and I'm just going to, I don't even know what kind of flower this is. But I love the contrast of white with the black background. Just lots of little flowers. I'm going to do some big ones. It could be like those roses, those, I don't know, I see them on my run sometimes. One there. And filbert brushes are actually so nice for florals. They just have these like perfect petal shaped bristles, right? The rounded tips. Now, as you can see, some of the white is actually kind of fading and it looks a little darker. So you can do multiple layers of white to make it stand out. But I kind of like when it does that because it almost looks like a natural shadow. So that's kind of cool. We'll do some centers on them after. Maybe just some little buds. Cute. Like that. And then if I wanted to go back in just to make some parts a little bit brighter, I'm going to use my round brush, I think, just to get a bit more precision. You can just kind of make some parts a little bit more of a brighter white with a second layer. But leave some of those darker bits for some shadow. I think it actually looks really natural and nice. And the flowers that I'm drawing or painting are not necessarily like, you know, like not every stroke that I'm doing is a petal. It's very messy and loose. like that. Okay, I'm going to use the rigger for some stems for these leaves. So the rigger is the long, tiny one here. And I'm going to use this light green, and I'm just going to do, like, look at these stems that you get with these lines. So nice and thin. I do love a good rigger brush because you just get like the thinnest lines with like barely any effort. Like I find with some other brushes, it's just you get these really shaky lines. It's just a little bit easier. I don't know why. You also don't have to keep adding paint to your brush. I'm also going to use this for like some like little bits of grass, maybe. Just little. Look at those tiny little grass marks. Now, I haven't used the other brush yet, the fan brush. I'm kind of nervous too. I don't know why. I just don't use them very often. I don't know what to do with them. But I am going to try something. Maybe not on this painting. I think I'm going to try a tree on another painting. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of some leaves to some of these stems just so they're not just kind of floating there. Maybe even add a little bit of yellow ochre. Get a little bit of a warmer greenish color in there for another layer. Like that. Like that. I don't know, I like it. Like that. And then the center of these flowers, I'm gonna grab a yellow. And I'm just gonna do some little dots in the center. Just with a bright yellow to start. And then I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to have to let that dry first. While that's drying, I'm going to grab another piece of this black paper, and I'm going to try something with the fan brush. I don't know. Let's just play. I don't even think I'm going to try to make a painting. How do you use a fan brush? I don't know. Like, how do I even dip it in there? Okay, hold on. Let me grab like a bunch of green. I kind of want to try like a tree. I've heard so many people say that they love like making trees with fan brushes. But I have used a small one in the past, just nothing this big. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to do like a line down the center, and then just kind of, let's start from the bottom. I don't know. Watch me fail. No, this is not good. How do you use a fan brush, guys? I hope this makes people feel good. Maybe you need to use it drier because it's just like pointed. See that? I have no idea how to use this. I know like for like, okay, grass. Like you could do grass with this. This is what I would use it for if I was going to use it for anything. Okay, we're putting the fan brush to the side for now because I do not know how to use that. And I hope that makes you feel better knowing that I don't know what I'm doing always. Like I teach you watercolor, but I teach you what I know because I am a self-taught artist, and the way I have learned things is by doing them over time and just practicing. So the fan brush is something I'm going to have to figure out a different time. But I mean, it's good to kind of just play and get to know things by trying different things, but I don't know. I don't really understand it all that much. I think I need to watch some tutorials, which I do. I do watch others. I look on YouTube to see how other people use things because I do not have all the answers. Okay, so here is our piece. Let's take off the tape and see how it looks. So you can see there's like a little border from that first green wash. It's very subtle, but it helped create a really nice border. This could be a really nice card too. And there we go. This kind of bled into there, which I can fix after too, a bit more detail. But look at that. So much fun, fairly easy to do, and it looks great. So the black brushes, those are really nice brushes. I definitely think they might just be my gouache brushes. I have so many watercolor brushes, but they're perfect for watercolor too because they are so absorbent. And maybe if also with this one specifically, if I'm doing one of my really, really large pieces, I'll use this one. But they do carry so much water in them that they will be good for really big washes. I could see myself using this one. Oh, I didn't use this one today. But this for my florals, I've been using my watercolor flat wash brush for my florals constantly. So this could definitely also be a new favorite, especially for bigger paper. But yeah, that's about it. Let me just grab this thing back for just a second and just figure out some grass or something. I don't know. I would use this probably for like grass. But if you have an idea of what you would use a fan brush for, in the comments, let me know. If you're going to be negative about me not knowing how to use a fan brush or, you know, not knowing all the things, don't even bother. This is a space where we're all learning together. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get fan brushes. I've never gravitated towards them. I've used them in the past, kind of, just for something like this, but not my jam. I have no idea. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you would use it for, or if you enjoy the brush too. And I hope you guys enjoyed this look into Craftamo's new black collection. So much fun to use, and I had a lot of fun using them. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on all my other platforms for tons more content. Have a great day, guys. Bye.